Last time on Dragon Ball Z, Gotenks the Boy Wonder quickly came to realize that he greatly underestimated the gravity of Majin Buu's newest transformation. After a brief recalibration, the boys decided to take things a bit more seriously and introduce Buu 2.0 to a new technique just as unorthodox and flamboyant as they were. Upon revealing their Super Ghost Kamikaze attack, Gotenks showcased the technique was as deadly as it was goofy and proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that if you choose to mess with the ghost, you'll be toast. After an explosive finish, Gotenks and Big Green proceeded to double tap Buu's remains, but even this proved to be not enough to take out the ghastly goblin, with Buu managing to reform using the air particles floating in the chamber to reshape for round 2. At a loss for words, Green could only hope Gotenks still had a few tricks up his puffy vest sleeves. While the boys certainly did, they wouldn't let Piccolo know because of course where's the fun in that, and proceeded to get manhandled as the reformed Buu made it clear that he was not a fan of their previous antics. Feeling that they had truly exhausted all options, Piccolo played his final poker chip, leaving both Gotenks and Buu momentarily stunned at the sound of a massive explosion occurring on the other side of the room of Spirited Time. With a pained grin, Big Green declared checkmate, informing his new housemates that they would all be getting to know one another real well, as the only way out of the rooms of nickels and dimes had officially gone the way of the dodo. Staring at one another in disbelief, an intense silence came over Super Buu and Super Stupid as they attempted to process the Green Man's words. While Gotenks was in the middle of defecating his freshly knitted fusion slacks, Buu had one single, very important question for the Namekian that would likely determine the fate of everyone currently standing in that room, including Buu himself. Do you have candies? What, in here? Hell no. Got some rice chilled in the other room though, and that's pretty close if you lie to yourself hard enough. Majin Buu was flabbergasted. All the mass murders committed were nothing in the face of the news this smug green bastard in front of him just delivered. Oh my god, Piccolo, you might actually be the biggest dummy to ever grace a pair of paperback 11s. I was jobbing you, Nimrod, cutting a promo so I could release my final move like a real hero does. Do you not recall, I don't know, every single fight you've ever been with in our dads forever? Or is the turban wrap too tight and cut the circulation off to your brain? You gotta be shitting me. I just damned us to a life of literal purgatory with the two most annoying creatures I've ever had the displeasure to share oxygen with. And you're telling me you had gas in the tank this whole time? Yeah, that was part of the bit, Big Green. Little jokey joke that would have been super easy to understand for someone with the faintest hint of a social IQ. Did you really just call this a little jokey joke? There's not a word strong enough in English or Namekian to describe how much I hate you right now. I just locked us in a room with Charles Manson for the rest of you. I can't even finish that, I'm gonna throw up. Just fix the damn door, you moron. I'll kick his ass and we'll go home. Can't fix the damn door, you idiot. That's why it's called checkmate. Meanwhile, this fella Majin Buu is shell-shocked. But he's like a grunt in one of those war movies where a mortar shell or a grenade goes off in the vicinity and their vision starts to get blurry and all they can hear is a distant ringing sound like you got hit with a flashbang in Siege. This fellow was going through it, and his mental collapsed faster than the Atlanta Falcons in the third quarter, culminating into a hate-filled screech so powerful, so unbearable, it would have brought a tear to Sindel from Mortal Kombat's eyes. We're talking a scream that came from the depths of Majin Buu's very soul. The idea of living in a world without gobstoppers had this fellow so pressed, he mustered all the strength buried within every agony-soaked atom of his body, and the resulting shockwave was enough to blow a hole through the space-time continuum, revealing a small hole that looked suspiciously like the outside world. Majin Buu done it. His love for carbohydrates and annoyance of his present company was so strong that it devastated the very heavens and made the impossible possible. Piccolo, what the hell are we looking at right now? I actually can't believe it. Majin Buu was so pissed his voice blew a hole through the dimensional barrier and made a path to the outside. You might be the only creature on this planet annoying enough to make a man learn how to break the laws of physics to get away. Even Buu was lost about what he just did, but as the hole began to shrink, something told him that he had a very limited amount of time to act. So reflexively, Buu got back on his Danny Phantom timing, limbered up, and blew skadooed into the hole he just made. He had escaped, and now the worst case scenario somehow sank even lower. Not only was Piccolo stuck in the chamber with the most obnoxious combination of humans to ever draw breath, but Majin Buu had done the impossible and was free to wreak havoc upon the earth however he saw fit, with not a soul available to stop the onslaught. On Planet Kai, the normally worry-free Goku was being met with some uncharacteristic anxiety. Wait a second, this is for sure Majin Buu's energy, but I thought he was in the time chamber. And if he's back, then where are the boys and Piccolo? Damn it, I would give anything to know what's going on down there right now. Is that so, young man? I heard your wife's quite the looker too. Here, borrow my crystal ball and we'll work out the logistics later. Still not beating the Predator allegations, Elder Kai then threw the anxious Saiyan a crystal ball that would allow those present to get a clear view of the happenings on Earth. Although it was to come, that may be a choice he learns to regret in short order. Back on the lookout, the gang's no good, very bad day had somehow gotten worse. Hey, I'm not the only one seeing that floating thing in the air, right? Yamcha, just what the hell did you put in the edibles this time? But that piece of information would have to remain the keeper of the Wolf Fang Fist's little secret, as the unintelligible mass of goop made its way to the floor and slowly took shape and came to reveal its true form as the harbinger of death and sugar highs, Majin Buu.
Hello!
Lucky, Buu found new candy. Before the horror of the situation could set in, Majin Buu yelled the words chocolate, as a beam emerged from his head and made its way towards the helpless crowd. Goku watched the whole thing from the bleachers and perhaps the first time in a long time felt a profound sense of regret as he watched the innocents on the lookout meet the same grisly fate as the rest of those on Earth's surface had found. Well, hey Pops, you're weirdly quiet over there and I don't think I've ever seen you be this serious before. Everything looking good back home? Don't worry son, now ain't the time for distractions. Do me a favor, focus up and lock in. Let's just say the Earth is gonna need at least one person at their best right now. Gohan didn't like the sound of that at all, but by the look on his dad's face, he knew the best thing he could do right now was take the warrior's advice. In the room of spirit and time, Piccolo began to have an idea. You know what, Gotenks, I just had a thought. That annoying-ass mouth of yours has been the biggest pain in my neck since I found out I can't receive child support payments without a social security card. I think it's about time we do something useful with that chatterbox of yours. Let's find out exactly what that mouth do. Without even saying pause, Big Green put Fold Tanks to work as they did their level best to imitate the method that allowed Majin Buu to escape. But even their combined efforts saw no success. Their love and worry for their families and the fate of the Earth couldn't hold a candle to Majin Buu's commitment to his own sweet tooth. I haven't screamed that much since that Little Dirt concert last summer with Bulma. Still not a damn thing's changed. We're really stuck in this hellhole. Damn, well, I was hoping to be able to bust this thing out in a much cooler way, but I guess it is what it is. It's what the hell are you on about now? Want to see something so sick, Mr. Piccolo? He didn't, but when it came to Gotenks, Big Green learned very quickly that what he wanted often didn't matter. But as he stood next to the kid, his resentment slowly gave way to curiosity, then horror, as Gotenks' power level shot up to frankly terrifying proportions. He hadn't seen a power level like that since. Whew, you like that one, Mr. Piccolo? Hold up, first of all, where'd you learn to do that? And second, you mean to tell me you can do that this whole— Alright, Big Green, no time for the yap session. I can only stay like this for a while. I'm super strong, by the way. Only thing I don't like is the eyebrow thing. No way I'm pulling any females like this. No offense. Anyway, guess better get to work. Gotenks then set his feet, extended his neck, and let out a wail only comparable to the one Majin Buu let out just a few short moments ago. After the ringing subsided, Piccolo was left pale and bug-eyed as he observed a strangely familiar view on the other side of the barrier. Nice, I made a hole, that's what she said. The mission was a success. As much as he wanted to strangle the life out of the 4-foot-tall Neanderthal squatting in front of him for holding back that much, he knew the moment was better spent making an escape and hopped through the hole and onto familiar ground for the first time in what felt like ages. But the victory lap was short-lived, as a bloated Majin Buu stood 10 toes down in front of him, grinning with a face covered in suspicious brown residue that the remaining warriors could only hope wasn't what they feared. What took you so long? And where are your eyebrows? Thanks for noticing the wardrobe change, asshole, but I promise you won't be disturbed for long. I'm way stronger than before. Finally having time to take in the scenery, Big Green's stomach began to churn as he surveyed the lookout and noticed the absolute wreckage his sanctuary had become while being visited by the most unwanted of house guests. Even more pressing than the state of his cape collection, though, was the absence of familiar company, and though a part of him already knew, he had to verify. Majin Buu, don't give me any BS. Just what did you do with the remaining humans here at the temple? Looking him straight in the eye, Buu shared no words but gently tapped his midsection, which was more than enough to validate his fears. No way, you ate them? And they were good chocolates too. For the first time in his short existence, Piccolo noticed that Gotenks seemed to be angry. He was a bit late, but the Namekian was glad to see the kid was beginning to understand the seriousness of the threat they were dealing with. After Ki charged so hard he damn near opened another dimensional rift, Gotenks took a power pose and laid the gauntlet with Buu 2.0. Big mistake, you peak piece of garbage. I swear on my life, I'm gonna give you a nut shot for every piece of chocolate you ate. Prepare for a bellyache! Without hesitation, Gotenks charged in literally head first and sent Blue flying through the tower of the lookout, the first of many casualties the poor Benyu was about to incur. Gotenks followed up with a barrage of punches, but the nimble Buu was shucking and jiving around each blow like the genie in Aladdin, the whole time talking garbage. Oh, poor baby has a temper. What would your mothers think if they could see you now? Maybe if I throw up, we can ask. This was one of my favorite parts of Super Boo as a character, y'all. This dude is disrespect incarnate. But with each transformation, his mouthpiece game just gets crazier and crazier, and if his power level doesn't off you, the venom he's spitting will. This scrap is also another case of the animation team going wild and having fun with it. While in the manga, Boo and Gotenks definitely have a brief exchange of words and punches on the rapidly declining Lookout. In the anime version, things get taken to an 11, where the fight quickly leaves the bounds of the Lookout, and both of these fellows are out here trying out all kinds of wacky ass techniques. With Gotenks hitting Boo with something he calls a splitting headache, where he turns his ki pretty much into a Destructo Disc with a yo-yo string attached to it and splits homie down the middle before exploding him into a little giblets again. And I swear it feels like Gotenks consulted with Ed Boon on these names, because each one of these sound like a fatality straight out of MK11. Then when Majin Buu splits apart, he turns his body into a slinky, wraps Gotenks up and damn near drives his head into a spike before the little dude pops out with a minor concussion rather than a minor decapitation. Then we get a re-up of the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack, where all the little pale-faced monstrosities flip 2.0 the bird before converging on his position and spinning the entirety of the block. Boo winds up looking like a Courage the Cowardly Dog villain reject yet again before fixing his face, yoking little man's up by his outrageous head of hair, and blowing him all the way back to the Lookout where he has to tell Piccolo he jobbed yet again, to no one's real surprise. This is where the anime and manga reconverge, as Boo starts to get angry at the Hanna-Barbera shenanigans that seem to be going nowhere fast, and decides it's time to speed this whole process up. Boo then gets on his Dawson timing and uses the power of yoga to curl up into a massive ball and shoots himself like a projectile at the gremlin Gotenks, ready to put this whole chapter to rest. While Gotenks is out here fighting for his life like R. Kelly, Big Green is standing on what's left of his bachelor pad just punching the air, absolutely sick at the damage being done to what's supposed to be perhaps the most sacred location on the entire Earth. The only thing that gets Boo's taffy tighter than candy was watching someone in mental agony. Seeing Piccolo on the verge of a crash out live on stream only spurred Boo on to greater destructive heights, leading the human cannonball crashing throughout the Lookout, so the only thing left was debris and Piccolo's tears polluting the atmosphere. Kid, if you don't find a way to stop Boo right now, I'm gonna dive headfirst off what's left of this Lookout and attend that Pop Smoke concert I've been waiting to go to all these years. God, Piccolo dramatic much? Fine, this right here will stop him. Super, but before Gotenks could finish, yet another hole was cratered beneath Gotenks' feet, right along with Piccolo's heart. Super Boo threw out the Shonen Battle rules of engagement a long time ago. Kid, do you really have to say the name of every move before you decide to do something about it? We are literally and figuratively getting killed out here. Piccolo, Mr. Special being canon, and it's you of all people giving me that advice? We're really gonna pretend like the last three sagas haven't been full of every named character on the roster, delivering an H-Bomber guide tier video essay about their next move to everyone within a 20-mile radius, but now I'm supposed to not get my rocks off? I swear, this whole genre's going to hell in a handbasket. Where's the love for tradition? But repairing the shattered fourth wall would have to wait till they weren't occupied with the shattered Lookout, as Majin Buu was on his way back around for another rotation, and if things kept up the way they were going, the temple wasn't going to be the only thing that was getting mourned. Super Donut Chain, shouted Gotenks, and as Boo was preparing to make contact, he was shrouded in a coil that immediately shut, seemingly leaving Boo captured. Whoa, it worked, but he's not going to be in this form for long. I gotta figure out which of my special moves to finish him off with before he goes back to normal and President Yappington starts hopping down my throat again. No Puffy, of course. Kid, I heard all that and you're damn right I'm about to get on your ass. Quit screwing around. I thought you realized by now Majin Buu's no joke. Got what it takes, hurry up and finish it off. Oh god, here he goes again. Wait, I know what I'll do. Alright Piccolo, since you want me to finish him off so bad, I'm gonna need your help on this one. I saw this move in a sports anime I watched. Animation, it's crazy. You gotta give it a shot sometime. Kid, I swear on Kai's name, if you don't do something about Majin Buu right now, I'm gonna, Piccolo, no more of that kind of talk. This whole time you've been feeding me all this crap about working together. Then when I try to collaborate with you, you refuse to help and just want to complain. I swear, all adults are a bunch of damn hypocrites. Damn it, fine, just do the stupid move before we get in trouble for copyright. Awesome, here it goes. Ultra Buu Volleyball. In seconds, Gotenks bumped the Boo ball over to Green, who somehow instinctively took an immaculate receiving position. Volleyball must just be in the Mechian genetics or something. After a textbook set from Big Green, Gotenks was now in position, taking to the air and delivering an absolutely devastating spike to the newly formed Boo Volleyball that would have sent a jolt through Hinata and the other crow's spine. Gotenks hurriedly raced to the crater to see the extent of the damage he just wrought on his ravished rival, while Piccolo lazily floated toward the wreckage, unable to shake the feeling that he just got played like an absolute buffoon, and Gotenks could have very much done the exact same thing without him having to reveal his volleyball power level. As the two made their way to the Earth's surface, the extent of Gotenks' power became shockingly clear as the two gazed upon the second impact tier crater where Buu made contact with the Earth. Realistically, no living creature should have survived. And here, with Gotenks' elation and Piccolo's shame, is where we'll call it. Tune in next time, homies, as Piccolo and Gotenks survey the damage of the fusion's latest off-the-wall attack. Has Buu finally been weakened enough to end his devastating warpath, or is even the Super Saiyan 3 infused beatdown little more than a distraction when faced with real power? Only one way to find out. Be easy, y'all, and catch you again in the next video.